Hello, everyone. We're recording another episode of Icon Podcast of all the people that are worthwhile knowing in real estate in Portugal. And today we have a very, very special guest, Artur Pinto Leite. We are in Porto. I'll let him introduce himself. Artur, welcome, please.
Thank you, Teresa. It's always a great pleasure to be interviewed by an amazing professional such as you. You're correct. My name is Artur. I'm born and raised in the city of Porto, where we are right now. 44 years old and working for the company where I am currently for the last 10 years almost.
Okay.
We are currently we are Savills. We belong to Savills company. It's a global real estate advising company with over 42,000 professionals.
Jesus. Okay.
And more than 700 offices spread around the globe, in the Americas, in Europe, in Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay.
And we work with corporate, institutional, and private clients. So we like to think that we have a local knowledge with a global insight.
Okay, perfect. And why should people talk to you when they're thinking about buying in Porto? This because we met, and we will talk about this later. We met because of this apartment.
Yeah.
It was a random contact between partners, and since then we've worked in other 5 or 6 deals.
That's correct.
I'm convinced that people should talk to you, but I would like you to explain why people should talk to you.
Well, I'm glad that people come and talk to me. I hope they come more and more. But I think real estate, as as any professional knows, is location, location, location.
Mm-hmm.
So the better you know the location where you operate, the better you are, and the better your clients are. Like I said, I'm born and raised in Porto. Porto is we can consider it a medium-sized city. It's not a big city. Very spread out, very divided by neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy for an outsider to get to know the surroundings if they move in. So it's all about network as well, real estate. I think because I was born in this city, because I come from a very, very big family in the city.
Yeah, everybody's your family. Okay.
I know my way around quite well through the city and through its people. So, like I said, the company for who I work for, we're more or less, even though it's a global company, we're more or less like I like to think a tailor-made office in Porto. Small group of people, very expertised, with a lot of know-how and a lot of network. So it's very easy for us to get around the city. We are divided in corporate and residential. I work the residential department, as you know, and we work mainly or a lot with developers from the beginning of the project even itself. We give our inputs while the architectural project is going on, and we have quite a big client database where off plan we're already capable of allocating most of
a lot of the sales.
A partial number of the units into the market.
That makes complete difference, because when we visited this place, I remember there was a competing offer from another agency, and it was because you knew very, very well the developer that we were taken seriously and we were able to close this one. So that kind of network, I think sometimes people, when listen to this, they think, okay, everybody says network and everybody says location, but when you see it happening real time and being able to close because you know the people, it's completely different.
Yeah, without a doubt. The more confident you feel with the developer, the client, whoever, your coworker, whoever you're working for, and of course the time you put into the work, because that counts, because you need to build also your credits, your your work. Of course, the best. I have the luck to have been working in this company, which has a very strong mark in the city with its professionals, real estate professionals, whether
Yeah.
you're a buyer or a seller, whether you're corporate or you're private or residential. So that, of course, gives me also a baggage to handle it well. And then I love the job as well. So
it's finding the right.
I think when you like it, you do
property,
it. You tend to do it well.
It's finding the right property for the client. And in this specific case, I remember that one of the things that was very, because clients nowadays are much more demanding and they're asking us everything. This is an historical building. I will let you introduce the building. But I remember that one of the things that the client mentioned while we were talking was the fact that you knew the project since it was being built since COVID time. So that gave them security because you knew the history of the building, and we were talking about a building from the 19th century, so a lot of things happened here before we are seated here right now. What is the history of the building? Because now it has an award and it's completely different. It didn't have back then, so it was a good surprise.
It didn't, but it should.
Yeah.
I probably had, and we don't know. It's an astonishing building, as you know. You're right. It's a building from the late 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
It was designed by one of the most famous Porto architects, named José Marques da Silva.
Okay.
He literally redesigned very important parts of the city. He designed this building, the one across, which was the Bank of London and South America.
Okay.
In its days. He designed the Estação de São Bento, the São Bento train station, which was revolutionary at the time because it brought a new technology, the train, into Porto. So it pulled the livelihood from the riverbank, where the trades were made and the commerce were, to the uptown, the upper part of town, near Praça da Alegria. And he designed the Savills Museum, the Casa de Savills as well.
Okay.
He designed many fantastic monuments. This building was called Nacional, which was an insurance company.
Yeah, we'll show some pictures of the common area.
And on the outside, you'll see some statues related to that trade, to the insurance trade. On the ground floor was commerce, then the offices, and then there was a residential on the upper floor, residential portion. So, I mean, if you see the building from the outside, from the inside, I have to say it's not hard at all to sell a unit here because the building sells for itself.
Yeah.
I'm always joyful to talk about it because it's a mark, one of the marks in my city.
Yeah.
If there's something I'm very passionate about my city.
Although you don't like football.
Well, that's another. We shouldn't discuss that. And it was without a doubt a building where our residential investors, private family offices, etc., they invested without even just when they heard that it probably was coming out, they were decided right to invest because you won't find anything like this in this avenue, and I don't think you ever will in the future. And this is the type of developments we are used to work with.
Yeah.
And we are very lucky, but it's also the result of a lot of effort and work into it.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. And this is so completely historical and a complete landmark building in the city. But a lot has been happening in Porto in the past few years. Yeah. What are the main things that you've seen happening, the main trends that you've seen in the past? I don't know, COVID is always a
mark. Yeah.
It's always a mark in our lives, and it's
before and after, right?
There's always a before and after. But what do you feel that have been the main changes for the past 5 years? And then how can we see the future of the city?
Well, tourism plays a big factor in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I have to say. I
Yeah.
was lucky enough to experience throughout my life the livelihood of both areas of town, what we call the historical center nowadays, which when I was a kid, people used to call it Porto, and the beach
Yeah.
area where I was raised, which in the old days wasn't Porto.
Yeah.
So my family on one side lives in the beach area, my family on the other side were lived here in the old part of town. So I was lucky enough to get the livelihood of both areas.
Okay.
And without a doubt that the historical center suffered a huge transformation, I'll say since 2014.
Yeah.
That I've never seen in my lifetime. And that was amazing because it was an I don't like to say abandoned, but yeah, it was a more or less.
It was a very dark and a bit somber city.
It was more or less. People forgot about this part of town.
Yeah.
Okay, it was mainly elderly people, poor people, some issues, urban issues, and with tourism, and that. I think tourism we used to have tourism, but it was more business tourism.
Yeah.
People that came because of the textile industry, the chemical industry, the wine industry, but they used to remain, they wouldn't pass from the Boa Vista Avenue, let's say.
Yeah.
And then tourism, whether it's Ryanair flying, whether it was the Brexit, whether it was some issues that happened in Egypt and Tunisia and brought some nationalities to spend their holidays here, whether it was just fiscal benefits that the Portuguese government at the time created, it attracted all sorts of foreign people, and that brought curiosity into the city. People started spreading more into the historical center, and with a lot of, I think, hard work, either from the municipality and from the private sector, a lot from the private sector as well, we started to witness the rehabilitation, the reconstruction of the historical city. The buildings you see nowadays refurbished, almost more than 80% of them were abandoned. Even they didn't even have people living in it. So it's very beautiful, and I think that brought life again to it. I think the business people here, the small and micro business people here are super happy. They were able to keep their shops, their historical commerce and trade keeping on going, and buildings such as this one were refurbished and are now alive with people living in it and quite happy, and not only tourism but what we call the digital nomads, the non-residents, foreigners that actually moved in to live. So the city is much better. Of course, that brings some pressure into the city. It's obvious, more people living in it, more pressure. But
there was a huge development because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned a very important thing. I'm not sure if everyone has a notion of this, because Porto, being in the north of Portugal, is where the main industries are in the country. So
yes.
we already Porto has a very business mindset. It's throughout the history of Portugal. And also, and this is an important thing that I think it's very different from Lisbon and Porto, the main architects and the main construction companies are from here.
Yeah, that's correct.
This gives the city a lot of authenticity that sometimes, of course, you can see it a lot in Lisbon too, but this was where it began. And that makes a difference, because you have, to give you an example, regarding the clients that bought this apartment, one of the things they were looking for was the authenticity.
Yeah.
A lot of people are looking for something that feels real. You feel the history, but then you have a comfortable house, a comfortable city, a city where you can walk everywhere.
Yeah, and that's
a huge difference.
The hardest thing when you manage, I think, in this case, a city, is to find the middle ground.
Balance, yeah.
Where do you go to keep that authenticity, which I think that's what foreigners look for, and like us when we travel.
Yeah.
And also ally that with the modernity of that a cosmopolitan city needs. I think Porto was able to maintain it. I think it will keep on maintaining it. I think the new mayor was very open about that. I think
You're hopeful.
we grew a lot, and like I said, the former executive, the former municipality executive, did a very good job attracting companies,
Yeah.
industries, international brands
Yep.
into the city. And now I think we need to stabilize it and work on the life quality of everyone that chose Porto to move in. Of course, when we talk about the development of the city in the last years, I have to say transport, public transportation. That was one of the biggest ones with the metro. And now, as you know, there's new lines being finished, so the metro will go even further into the town, especially near the beach area where it wasn't before. So I have to say public transportation, without a doubt. The urban rehabilitation, like we talked about. I mean, the city is back to life. And it was always, like you said, a trade city, a commercial city. If we look at the north and south of the country, the north exports more than imports because, as you said, the main industries are all in the Aveiro, Porto Braga, and then Leiria X. And I think it's good. I think we shouldn't. No one should rely only on services and tourism.
Yeah. You add more layers where you have.
So Porto had a huge increase of office buildings.
Okay.
We have a big demand for office buildings, more than we can provide at the moment. Okay. We're the city center is super close to the airport and to the docks, the harbor. The square meter price of offices here is lower than in Lisbon. And like you said, most of the construction companies are here, so the quality of construction is quite good. So now all the new offices have all the high European standards or world office standards that is required for any multinational nowadays.
They want to come here.
So they're all wanting to come here. The city, it's a very safe city. I think if I have to tell any foreigner moving in what's our biggest asset, I have to say it's something money cannot buy, which is safety.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, Porto is one of the safest cities in the world, I can say. And then we have our heritage. It's you have a UNESCO heritage site.
You have the wine.
It's a city full of monuments, and it's a city that in a few driving hours, you're in the middle of this beautiful nature, like Jerez, like Ponte Lima, like Vienna. I mean, it's
very well connected.
It's a very welcoming and cozy city if you decide to move in.
Okay. And what do you see moving forward? Like, what are the main challenges? Because now, imagine, even in giving the example of the deals we worked on, in this case, we have a lovely couple from the US. They bought this place to live in the future. They're coming here on and off, and they want to stay here, which is a thing I think sometimes we as Portuguese, we don't have that knowledge. Or maybe when I'm talking to friends, we are chosen to be the place they want to live in full time. It's not just an investment. So it's clearly a choice. It's very intentional, and it's a plan. But we need to find the balance, because in this case we have, of course, an upper tier apartment. There are still things in the market that I feel in Lisbon are not. There's still demand that we don't have a lot of products in Lisbon. We can talk about that in Porto. But then we also need to have a city that, to be authentic, it needs to have all types of people. So what are your thoughts on that, and what's going to happen in the next few years?
I think the real estate market is still a very interesting one in Portugal, and I think south of Europe. But I think Portugal, it's incredible how it rose.
Yeah.
Since I'll say 2018, 2015. I mean, if I go back even, it rose even more. But it's incredible how it rose, and I think it will keep on going. There's no problem with any type of bubble, because the issue here is that the demand is much higher than the offer. You have bubbles when it's the opposite, right? And you can see how
Yeah.
the lease prices accompany the selling prices. If you have lease prices very low and acquisition prices very, very high, then
Then you
probably
have a
there's a
problem.
bubble. But
Yeah.
it's not the case here. I think we need more. I think the problem is even the contrary. We need more construction, but that will only happen with political decisions as well. And it's a thing right now. It's as you know, it's a subject in Portugal in the last years. We need more and more construction. We need the government to help with politics through politics. The investors are here, the developers are here. We just need politics in motion to help, and the government, I think it's doing a good job in that, but it takes time. Things don't appear in 6 months or 1 year as we would like to. I think in Porto, which is the market I work with, I think the next 2-3 years we'll see two things as far as residential goes, which is what I work with. I think we will see high-end luxury developments appearing. I think there's a huge demand for truly high-end luxury.
What do people ask you that you cannot find yet in terms of high-end luxury? What are usually the
Porto
requests?
Like I said, it's a small city, so anytime you find a plot to build in prime areas, okay. So because luxury, you need to go to what we call the prime areas, such as the beach area. But the beach area, if you go there, the plots are small.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find an abandoned house, or someone sells a house, and you have 800 square meter, 1,000 square meter plot to build. So I think scale is a big issue as far as high-end luxury goes. Okay. I think there's a big demand for. When I say scale, I don't mean a lot of units, but I mean size and amenities. Okay. We have such an example, which is a project that was completely sold off market. With a lot of confidentiality, just through our clients network, which is the Emporium Park, which in my opinion is the most luxurious development in Porto at the moment. It's still in the construction, completely sold out, without even emails being sent.
Just my phone.
Why? Because it offered the high-end luxury demand that our clients wanted, which is very hard to find.
Can you give examples?
In specific parts of the city. For instance, this one, it's a luxury building in downtown.
Yeah.
But if you want to live near the beach area, you need to find something similar, which there's not, because you won't find buildings such as this one.
And what kind of amenities were they looking for?
Let's say valet parking, concierge.
Besides the gyms,
besides the private pools, you have a common pool with a pool boy, maybe a pool restaurant area. Like these sort of things that you find abroad, but you won't find here.
Yeah,
it's very common in the States, in Brazil. I mean, in Asia, in Middle East, but it's very hard to find here because culturally we're not.
I think we are evolving. We're not there yet, but we are getting there.
We will get there. We will get there. I have no doubt.
People, when people ask, sooner or later you will have things on the market. The tricky thing in real estate is the cycle to build is no less than 2 years, never, and if it can be 3 or 4.
Depends on the municipality as well, on how quick you approve the project.
Yeah.
So I think Emporium is one of those cases. The Nomad Eden is another beach area case. So we have, but I think we need much more.
Yeah.
There's a huge demand. I mean, you look at and then again, I think it's a scale issue. You look at the international colleges in Porto; they're all full.
Yeah.
It's very hard for them to accept new kids. They have to grow, and that's happening. They're growing, but it takes time again. So I think it's time. But I think once everything's in motion, I think you will see in the next 3 to 5 years a big change in Porto in very high-end luxury.
Okay.
And you will see, And I think the other opportunity as far as residential goes is people that required bank loans to acquire property, which we have loads of young couples, kids coming out of the universities. They want to buy their first home, and it's very hard.
Still very difficult.
It's very difficult because there's even though like, and you know it very well, like the lake development, and before that the Natura one, and that development will keep on growing. As we know, they're all sold. So we need more of that. I think
no, it's never enough, and we felt, especially in some units. Imagine we couldn't sell the last one because someone was faster than us.
Yeah.
So
those developments are very good.
A big one. So I think
it's a huge development. It's around 150 units each.
150
each
units.
development. So yeah, the Natura first, and then Lake, and now we're going to have the next ones.
So we are talking about close to 450 units, and still not enough. And still
not enough. We need more. We need more. And I think
that's a huge.
There's a big opportunity in developers there, even outside Porto.
Yeah.
Maybe Valongo, maybe Penafiel, Gondomar. I mean, we need to spread out because there is still room to build, and people need to realize that if you drive 30 minutes to go back home, it's not a big deal.
It's not,
We're not used to that. I'm very lucky in that sense. I work 3 minutes from my house, but we need to do that, and that's how cities appear. Big cities appear. They need to spread out.
We cannot grow in height, so we need to.
I think Gaia, without a doubt, will be the next real estate boom area. Let's say mostly this type of property that we're just talking about. There's two reasons. One, the new metro bridge, which will connect Gaia with the Boa Vista roundabout, with the Casa da Música. And then in the near future, the high-speed train, the TGV, which will be concluded by the end of 2030, I believe. And that will, I think, that will really do a lot of good to the north, because it will connect us to Lisbon in less than an hour and a half, and will connect Porto to Vigo in Spain, the north of Spain, which then will create an Iberian hub.
It's a very interesting dynamic. Yeah.
The north of Portugal does a lot of trade with the north of Spain.
Yeah.
There's a lot of industries that work together, and the connection to Vigo will bring, in my opinion, I'm sure there's a reason behind the connection. It's not only my opinion for sure.
No.
But that will bring very, very good results to the north of Portugal and the north of Spain as well.
Yeah. I think you said one very important thing, which is the politics. This week we have the OCDE report saying that the Portuguese government needs to speed up licensing in the country. So I think it's more than evident for ourselves, and we as real estate agents and advisors, we are in touch with this every day. People are in touch with this every day, the municipalities also, but now we have a European organization saying, guys, you need to speed up. So I'm also hopeful that this new cycle in terms of politics brings on a national level like a fast track in terms of licensing, because otherwise we cannot make, we won't be able to use the fiscal benefits for the young couples.
I think the government is working towards that. I think
we need to speed up.
I think the data coming out is very good.
Yeah.
I think it takes time, but I think it won't take that much time
to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm very looking forward. I think the next years will be very, very good.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm quite excited to see the results of the next years.
Okay, I feel the same. So we will keep working between Lisbon and Porto for sure. I'm looking forward to. So this is the beginning of the year. Today is the 7th of January. So it's like truly the beginning. We're turning the page to a complete new year. I'm really excited to see what's been happening in the city because it's a completely different city. And I see that clients are very happy what's been happening here.
Yes, and I think you will
That
very
makes-
happy. Will be very
yeah.
happy as well, because in the near future, I think we will have a very interesting pipeline.
Yeah.
Both Porto and Gaia, and I can't wait to show you once we have
Yeah, I
it.
was having calls. I need to go 3 months. I was having calls yesterday, so yeah, it will happen.